My videos are just awful. They're jerky, they're shaky, they're wobbly. I just don't know what to do. They're terrible.
Never fear, little lady. The avid amateur is here. Okay, shutter clickers, I want to give you the good, the bad, and the ugly about the Neewer camera stabilizer. The good is, for small cameras like the one I have here, this is a Canon N100. This is the camera that I use for all my selfie type videos. It works really great. This camera weighs only 9 ounces, which is relatively light in camera terms. But anyway, the principle in the Neewer, and all stabilizers like this, is to get them where they're balanced, where they balance perfectly when your camera is in full operation mode. That means with the lens extended, the lens you're going to use, and the lens cap removed. So it's ready to fire up just like this. And you want to balance it up and down, and you also want to balance it left and right. But there's one other balance, and that's the counterbalance weight down here at the bottom. See, down here at the bottom. And if you don't understand that, you turn it like this, and if it takes about 2 seconds, which that did, to fall, why then you know it's counterbalanced properly. And that works out really good for my little camera here that weighs 9 ounces. Now, one of the keys to understanding this thing is this, is that the fulcrum is right here at the handle, and to get it in balance with nothing on it, I had to add 9 ounces of weight on this end. And when I did that with nothing here, the camera wasn't here, why it was level like this. So that means that if your camera weighs 20 ounces, then you'd have to put 11 ounces of counterbalance on the foot down here. Okay? Now, you want to put a little less than that, and then you extend the foot to give the counterbalance more leverage. And that worked really great on mine. I balanced it this way, I balanced it that way, and then I have the right drop this way. And of course the camera's so light, I have no weights down here on the bottom. I did have to extend the shaft, not quite 2 inches. And it works perfectly. I can take this thing out and it goes, wow, just anyway, it works just wonderful. Now I did try to balance it with the typical DSLR. This is a Canon T3i, and I have a wide angle zoom lens, 18 to 55 zoom on the front, and I tried to balance this camera on the Neewer. It can be done, but it took about 45 minutes to get it right. Whereas with my little camera, the lightweight camera, in 10 minutes I was up and running. So that's the good and the bad. Light cameras, it works really well. The heavier cameras, much harder to do. And one of the problems with the heavier cameras is that even when it's balanced, it tends to want to oscillate as you walk. It wants to go like this. You know, it removes the jerky movements, but it wants to oscillate. So it's very, very hard. And I found that in the heavier camera, the closer you can get the shaft and still get the right drop, why, the better off you are as far as stopping the oscillating. But it wants to oscillate, and as you pan, the camera wants to turn. And so that means it's, you know, it's more difficult to get it done. So that's the good and the bad. Now, the ugly part, well, I don't think there is really any ugly. It's a nice piece of equipment. It's very well made. It's structured well. It comes with a plate. It's easy to operate. It's easy to understand. It's not that expensive. This one was about $75 from Amazon. They make one just like it that's about $10 or $15 cheaper, but the difference is the shaft is aluminum on the lesser expensive one, and on this one it's carbon fiber. And carbon fiber is about 15% less weight, and for someone that's using it a lot like me, why 15% can mean a lot. One little thing in the way of a review and reminder is that you need to know the weight of your camera so that you can get the right drop. Okay, and it's also handy to know that it takes about, without a camera on there, it takes about 9 ounces to make it balance perfectly. So if you'd have a 29 ounce camera, okay, you're already heavier on one end than you are the other. So you need to subtract about 9 ounces from your counterbalance weight to make it right. So there you have it. That's the Neewer. And I'm going to show you 3 videos now. One without any kind of a stabilizer, and one where the counterbalance wasn't right and it oscillates, so you can see what that's like, a short video of that. And then one where I have it fully functional. And I think you'll notice a huge difference that a stabilizer can make in your cameras when you're doing videos. Now I don't know, I haven't looked at any others to see whether or not the more expensive ones, the $150, $200, even up to $500 ones are heavier and bulkier and can handle a big camera. That may be true. But this one here, if you have a DSLR and it weighs, well, it's going to weigh 25, 30 ounces or even more, why, this may not be the item for you. I guess that's the bad part. But, so anyway, look at the videos, and like I said, there'd be one there without any kind of stabilizer, one where the stabilizer is not balanced right, and then finally one where it's set up right, and I think you'll notice a big difference. Okay, shutter clickers, let's do this without a stabilizer now. I'll just walk down the stairs here. I'm trying to hold this as steady as I can, but you can, I'm sure, just about tell every step that I'm taking. You just can't hold it. And I've got my arms in, locked in tight. Oh yeah, we've got a pan, I forgot. Okay. Not too bad when your body's not moving. But boy, when you're walking, now I can tell as I'm making this that there's going to be some juggling here. Jiggles and wobbles and everything else. No wonder nobody wants to watch my old videos. They're all wobbly, jerky, shaky. Brr, it's cold outside. Okay, I think that's a good enough demonstration without a stabilizer. I showed you a video of what it looks like when you have a stabilizer that's not balanced and you get the wobble. Okay, test number 1. I think it's too bouncy. And now I'm going to show you a video of how the stabilizer works when it's in right balance. So I'm going to walk around the house here, and I'm going to walk fast. I'm not going to do the videographer strut. You know, they tell you got to do the videographer strut. I'm just going to walk normal and even a little faster than normal so that you can see that once it's perfectly balanced, you can move it around like crazy and you won't get wobbly, jerky, or shaky pictures. The transitions, the pan will be smooth as silk. Okay, let's take this thing for a test run. We're not composing a movie here, we're just demonstrating how effective it is. We'll be going up and down some stairs and just a walk around the yard. And I'm not doing anything special as far as to how I walk or anything. Just going to walk along this path and turn around and go back up the stairs. We'll do a little pan here. And now we'll go back. Come around here. We'll go up the stairs. Back in the house because it's cold out here. And that's the end of the demo. And I'll bet you can tell the difference. Well, you've seen the 3 videos now, and I'm sure you agree with me that this little fella can make a difference, but only if you got the right size camera on the other end. If you have a DSLR that weighs more than 15-20 ounces, if you're up into the 20 to 30 ounces, then I would say this little guy is not big enough for you. I've watched a lot of videos on this, and the ones that say that it works, they struggle for 20-30 minutes on the video and they still don't have it balanced. They tell you they do, but they don't. They'll hold it and say, yeah, I got it balanced. This guy is just not heavy enough, heavy duty enough to work with a heavier camera. So if you got a big DSLR with a big lens on it, you're going to have to stay up and pay the big bucks. I would imagine you're going to have to go around $200 to $300 minimum to get a unit that's big enough to handle a DSLR. But if you've got a camera like this or a camcorder, camcorders are very light, little handheld camcorder, this will probably work really great for you. And it's a real bargain at 75 bucks. So thanks for watching. Give me a thumbs up if you learned something from this. And subscribe, hit the little button down in the corner. Subscribe if you will, please. And share. Got to share, share, share. I need views. The logarithms or whatever it is they have to make things work at YouTube. If you don't have the views, you don't get the I don't know what it is. They don't put it out there where other people can find it. Is what it is. When you go to do a search, it never shows up. So I really need your help. And I appreciate you watching. And in the meantime, you know what to do. You got to keep that shutter clicking.